Hello, I'm here today to go over your assignment of the plant and animal cell digital drawing. So your goal for today is, and over the next couple days, is to create a two-dimensional plant and animal cell, as well as discuss the similarities and differences amongst those cells. So if you look at the directions, part one, you're going to build a plant and animal cell using the clip art from slides 2 to slides 9. And then once you are finished making those individual plant and animal cells, you are going to essentially copy and paste them on the respective slides. For animal cell, it's going to be slide 10. For the plant cell, it's going to be slide 11. I'm going to show you instructions on how to complete that first, and then I will go into a little bit more on part 2 and part 3. So these are some helpful hints that will help you along the way. Everybody probably knows most of these, or you've learned about them in last year's technology class. But you press Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. When you do every organelle, it needs to be labeled, and I've included them on the clip arts of these organelles. But if there's multiple organelles, you only need to label it once, just so that your cell doesn't get too crowded. Also, location matters, specifically for the endoplasmic reticulum. We've talked about where that organelle typically is found, so please make sure you put that in the right location. All the others, for the most part, they don't have a required area. You also should be familiar with how to order your images, meaning bringing them forward, bringing them back, bringing them all the way to the front, and then bringing them all the way to the back. And again, that is shown under the Arrange tab, which would be under Order. And then grouping and ungrouping clip art is also very helpful, especially when you're going to go paste your final product. And then also you can always resize your clip art or your organelles to make it fit your cell. So don't feel limited to, oh, my nucleus is too big. Well, then make it a little smaller. Okay, they're your helpful hints. So these are all of your organelles that you're going to be working with for specifically, you can see the animal cells. So you have your lysosomes, you have some vacuoles, you have lots of ribosomes, your nucleus, your mitochondria, and then your rough ER, smooth ER, and Golgi apparatus. So your goal, again, is to assemble all of these organelles into one location. So if you look at number 4, slide number 4, that's your cell membrane. You know that's going to be basically your base. And slide number 5 is your cytoplasm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cytoplasm, Control-C, and put it in my slide number 4, which is Control-V, which would be my paste. So you can see it kind of fits nice and perfectly inside the cell. Now I'm going to start adding my organelles. I'm going to add my nucleus first, so Control-C, and then jump over to this and do paste, okay? And again, you're like, oh, that nucleus is too big. Well, no problem. Just make it a little smaller, okay? They'll kind of fit, and you could really put it anywhere. Again, you can see here, I've also included a label, so you can kind of put that anywhere you would like inside the cell. The nucleus, again, is the control center or the brain of the cell. Okay, your next organelle, we'll do the rough ER. Okay, so again, Control-C, and then bring it over to the respective animal cell, and then you can bring it this way. Now, you know the rough ER and the smooth ER, they kind of are found right around the nucleus. So you might need to kind of arrange it, so that's kind of right near the nucleus. I'm also going to show you the order option. So you're going to go to Order, and then you could click on Send Backwards, so you know that the nucleus is right on top, or you can bring it forward, whatever, kind of wherever you put your clip art, that's going to be important. Okay, so that's that. Again, you're just to show you another example, these are your ribosomes, and they're going to be found everywhere. So it really doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot to. So I'm going to probably copy and paste a couple of them so that I can kind of spread them, because as you know, they're found everywhere throughout the cell. Okay, so they're just some examples of that. Again, you don't need to label all of them, because as long as one of them is labeled, then that's kind of how it works. Again, you can order them based on, where you would want them over on top or below. Kind of that's the ordering feature. Okay, so that's kind of just to get started. That's the animal cell. You also have your plant cell. So you have a couple more organelles for your plant cell that you'll be responsible for navigating. And also, actually, let me go back to our animal cell. If you think, for example, this mitochondria that you're going to bring over to your animal cell is a little bit too big, kind of just shrink it down. It's not a big deal. And then, of course, you can kind of flip it around so it kind of fits in that specific area where you want them. Okay, so that's your animal cell. You're going to do the same thing with your plant cell. After you are finished and completely finished your animal and plant cell, Okay, so what you see on your screen now here, right here, is a completed version, in this case, of a plant cell. Again, yours looks different because I edited it, but I just want to show you how you're going to copy and paste it to the correct area. So you're going to highlight every single organelle, and you can kind of see how they're all kind of boxed in. You're going to do Control C, and then you're going to drop it down to the respective slide, which in this case, the finished plant cell would be slide number 12. And then you would paste it right there. Again, you can resize it so that it fits in that little area right there. So that's where I'm going to be checking and making sure that you have copied your completed product, wherever it may be, onto the respective slides, slide 11 and slide 12. What I'm going to explain right now is if you go back to the directions, part 2 and part 3. Part 2 is looking at this table in front of you. You're going to put a little plus sign if that cell, plant or animal cell, has that organelle. So the first one, we'll do the first one together. Cell wall. Does a plant cell have a cell wall? Yes, it does. So you're going to put a little plus sign. The animal cell, it doesn't. So you're not going to include anything. Does a plant cell have a cell membrane? Yes, it does. Does an animal cell have a cell membrane? Yes, it does. So on and so forth. So you go through this whole list and then tell me, the respective organelles with adding the plus sign next to it. And then part 3 is you're writing a paragraph, which is 4 to 5 sentences, comparing the similarities and differences between a plant and animal cell. Again, using this activity based on what you know, okay, you're going to write 4 to 5 good sentences as an 8th grade student, comparing the differences and the similarities between a plant and animal cell. And you should really have no problem completing this. Make sure if you need a little bit more space, then just kind of change your font size, and that should help. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Of course, your teachers are here to help you along the way. Have a great day.